Good evening. I'm Louis Armstrong. I have a terrific video for you, Minister Louis J. Armstrong. And I'd like you to pay close attention to this one because this lecture come out of the book here, Judgment of America. And I want you to get this book so you can understand exactly what's going on. You'll find this one on this lecture. Let me get to the beginning of the book. I want you to see in the myth that surrounds the story of Joseph. You're going to find this in the chapter. And what this is about. I have mentioned to you over and over again, and I'll say it over and over again, that this book is about the American continent. This is about North America. No matter what anyone tell you, this book is about this nation. Everything in this book, from Genesis to Revelation, 95.5% of it is about this nation of America. King James sent this book to America. The elites had a lot to do with this book being compiled and sent to America, and you need to understand that. Now, before we go into the book, you need to purchase the book, Judgment of America. This is one of the books that going to help you understand a lot about the Bible and a lot about what God wants you to understand. Also, the book, Black Nostradamus Prophecy of American Future. Both of these books you need to have. Right now, I'm doing a lecture on this book. I like to do it like this. I'm giving a lecture on this book, The Judgment of America. And this is one you need to see. Now, it's a chart in the myth of Joseph, where it talks about the king dreams in Genesis. It's going to show you 21 years of activity in the United States of America from 2000 to 2020. It's a 21-year period of time because you're counting 2000. So when you count 2000, it's going to take you to 2020 to make that 21 years. It's crucially important for you to understand this. And I'm going to open this up to you. And I'm also going to tell you about some other things as well, but mainly about the chart. Now, let's deal with it. The Great Exodus and Fall of America, 2019 to 2020. Now, most people think that this is only in the Bible. This is predicted in other books as well. They got books like movies like When the Simpsons, they tell you about Donald Trump, and they predict, show you him being president before he got to be president. There's other books known as the Baron Trump. It's a storybook about a kid. And people, you need to get that book. You need to get that book, or you need to get the knowledge of that book or information in that book. You need to study it. Because what it's going to do, it's going to take you to the understanding of what I have taught to you about, in them taking the craft, using the craft, taking the arts, taking the truth, throwing it to the ground, and using the craft for over 2,300 years. They've been manipulating time, and you don't even know that that's what's been happening in front of you. They've been manipulating time in events where you think sometime God done it when man did it. And this is why we're going to start off with Deuteronomy. Okay? Now, the Great Exodus and Fall of America, 2019 to 2020. Now, why would I say 2019 to 2020? Because this is going to be a time of an eye-opener, that you're going to start learning more truthism about what's really going on, not just information. Your eyes are going to be open to see this metric. Your eyes are going to become like a movie they made one time when they had this guy, I don't know the name of it. They had this guy and this other guy's friend wrestling with him to get him to put the glasses on. And they just kept wrestling with him to get to put the glasses on. When he finally put the glasses on, he was shocked. Wow, this thing is different from what I understand. Now, we're not going to give you no shock like that. But we're going to give you a shock to realize that a lot of things that you think Mother Nature is doing, a lot of things you think that God is doing, man is doing it, and he's manipulating time, and you don't know it. So if you see something like that in the Bible, and it's broken down to you and you actually amazed on what the Bible is showing you, you got to keep your mind open. You got to keep thought there. Because thought is going to show you that man has the ability to manipulate time and events, and you think it's God. And you think it's God. This is no easy lecture here. This lecture is very, very difficult. It's taking you to a whole another level of consciousness. We are dealing in an area where we have to travel our minds in our cosmic consciousness. We have to be able to go further than just sitting in front of a TV set and etc. You're dealing with cosmic consciousness. And to deal with cosmic consciousness, you're asking truth to prevail in your mind and your life. And this is what you have to understand. And let's deal with Deuteronomy 28:31. Now you got to look at these numbers. 28:64. 28:64. And we're going to come back to that. 28:64. And the Lord shall, now listen to what it says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth. Now notice this. One end of the earth, even to the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Now notice what they're saying now. Now, who is this talking to in Deuteronomy? This is the initiates talking to the chosen peoples of God, which is known as the African Americans in the Bible and others. Okay? And others that are included in this chosen people. Now, when you begin to see this, you'll say, and most people tell you, well, God did this. God scattered them upon all the earth. No, this earth is not about earth, everything, all nations. This earth is about the United States. This is about North America. This is about where this Bible been sent to. Okay? And that's what you got to see. Now notice this in. And there thou shalt serve them. Notice that. Just take there out. And thou shalt serve them. Should serve other gods. Okay? Now, who is these gods? Who is these gods that they're talking about? Because in America, the only God that most people are serving is Jehovah, Jah, Elohim, and many other J's that they put there. Okay? So, who are you serving? And what is this telling you? And who wrote this? Okay? The God wrote this, the God messenger write this, was this something that was added into the writing to manipulate you with time? Now this is something you got to open your mind to. There's no need of us going no further in this teaching if you're not going to open your minds up and start seeking out God's truth. Because what you're dealing with a high intelligent people in this nation and on this planet that have the capability of manipulating time, manipulating events. And they're using the craft and they're making you think it's God's when it's them. And they're doing it through Satan, through what they call a law of magic. You need to know this stuff. Now, I know some of you may not be ready for this one, may not be ready for this lecture, but I must tell you the truth because I told you I won't lie to you. People, you need to wake up. You need to understand this. I'm going to show you this stuff before I show you that, because when I show you that, you're going to see that these events done happen. These events have been written about, but you got to know who did it. Was man capable of making these events happen? Was man capable of making storms come? Was man capable of making earthquakes come? At this time of human history now, listen to what I'm saying. At this time of human history, could the what they call it? Could the hard program Could it manipulate the weather? The HARD program, could it cause earthquake? The HARD program, could it do things like that, cause tornadoes and snowstorms and all this other stuff? Could it do that? And they knew that they had the capability of doing that, and at a certain time, they did that. We got to understand, could that have been done? You're going to see something different, my people. You're going to see something that, and I'm taking your mind into an area that you need to be able to be aware of what's happening around you. There's some very powerful elites around you, and they ain't regular folks. All right? They're not regular folks, and I'm going to leave that like that. They're not regular folks. And you need to start learning these truthisms that you'll know what's really going on. Because, see, you think the Bible ain't been tampered with? Do you really think the Bible have not been tampered with? Although you got to have the knowledge how to use the art to open up the decoding of the Bible, but even a person like myself who can open it up, you think I can't see the realities that's been tampered with in it? There's realities that you got to understand. There's a manipulation that you got to understand that's in the Bible. Let's deal with it. See, when you start reading Deuteronomy, you see 28:34. Let's deal with these numbers. 28:34. When is a man or a human being? When is Deuteronomy 28:64? 64. Okay. When is a man when he's in a nation and they need this guy to be able to help the nation grow? Because you got to remember, in the 1600s, you were brought over here to work these tobacco farms. They needed labor, and it took a strong and a lot of labor, males and females, to work these tobacco farms and to work the products and to build America so the aristocrats could live that lifestyle that they wanted to live. Because the aristocrats understood alchemy. The aristocrats understood the art, some of them. And they know how to manipulate things and time people. And you got to understand this. That's why when you get into a certain books and you get into Hollywood and you see a movie come on and they talk about the Simpsons and they talk about so many years before Donald Trump come on the scene that Donald Trump is going to be president of the United States and all that. And then you see a book come out about the Baron Trump. Okay now. And you see the story all manipulating on what we're dealing with, world events and what we're dealing with in America right now. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. And you need to start opening your mind and see. See, when you hear that movie where it said, you can't handle the truth. They was trying to say something to you. You can't handle the truth. Because the truth sometimes, whoa, is something else, my people. It's something else. So you got to be ready for the truth. See, you've been manipulating and dealing with stuff on the internet, information. But a few of these channels start telling you something about the truth. See, when you start learning the truth, they don't have a million hits on that one. They don't have this and that. Okay, no. Because some of the truth is unbelievable. And you can't deal with something that's unbelievable. So you need somebody who can teach you how to understand the unbelievable. And that's what I'm here for. To show you that there's some things happening around you that you need to be aware of and understand. Now we're going to deal with this. In this story, and I'm going to show you in that story about Joseph, Joseph interpreted the king's dream. And when Joseph interpreted the king's dream, what the initiates did, they gave a chart. Okay? You don't see this chart in the Bible. This is from one initiate to the other. And I'm the other. In that, it's going to tell you about, it's going to show in the king's dream about a kin, which is a cow. It's going to tell you about corn, which is natural disaster, meaning nature. And it's going to tell you how you have a good a cow, you have a bad cow, you have a beautiful bad. You have a good coin, you have a bad coin, and you have grievously bad. And they're telling you that these are 7 years of good, 7 years of bad, but they don't tell you 7 years of grievously bad. You got to be initiates to know that it tells you 7 years of grievously bad. So you got to go in there and interpret the vision all over again. And then this is what you're going to come out with. And then you got to take that vision and apply it to history of that nation, that Egypt, that modern Egypt in which they're talking about Joseph going to be in, and he was going to be a slave in that Egypt, and he was going to come from another land into that Egypt, which is America, and he was going to be someone that's going to rise up from a slave that was sold into slavery, and he was going to be great, a great man. And he was going to give a territory called, an area called Goshen. Oh my Lord. An area called Goshen. Study Goshen. Study Jacksonville, Florida, St. Augustine. Study the St. John River and the Nile, people. Y'all need to understand what this book is really trying to say. Because if you don't understand it, you cannot say that the truth didn't come to you and you didn't learn the truth. See, what they'll do, they'll put the truth in front of you. They'll put the truth in front of you so you can't say that they did not tell you the truth. And that's what you got to see in this. Yes, they manipulate time, but they got to be able to do things a certain way, because if they don't do a certain way, they're going to mess themselves up. So they're going to give you some truth, like they do in television. They're going to give you some truth. But they're going to do it in such a way where only the wise going to understand what they're saying. See, Donald Trump being the president, that was known way before that. It was written in the Bible. See, you're talking about them manipulating time, and you look at from the Simpson on, or you look at from the book, the Baron Trump on, but this was done way many hundreds of years, way before then. This was done, Trump was put in there when the King James Version was written. Okay? He was put in there when it was written. They already knew it because they knew how to cross dimensions of time, and they knew how to do the time traveling, and they could go in the future and they see Donald Trump and they write about Donald Trump. They see these events and they write about the events, so they have manipulate the events so these events could happen the way they want them to happen, and you think God and nature done this alone when man done it. Using the arts on you. Using the arts on you. And that's what you got to learn. Let's deal with it. Let's get into the King's Dream, because I want you to see what that was all about. If you look in that book, you look in this book, you're going to see a chart. And it's going to break down exactly what Joseph seen in his interpretation from the point of view of the initiate, and point of view of an individual who have learned the truthism of what this Bible is truly all about. And you're going to see that in this book. That's why I need to lecture these chapters in this book, so you could begin to see more than what you just read. If you get this knowledge that I give you and teaching you along with this book, and you see it in the book, you're going to better understand what the Bible is saying and what is written before you. It's very important, my people. It's extremely important that you understand this. Now let's deal with it. Because you're going to see these events going to happen in history. You're going to see this chart. You're going to see this vision unfold itself. You're going to see it come to pass. And you're going to see this, what happened in the beginning. In the beginning, in the chart, you start from the year 2000. Okay? In that, you got to know where you start from. You can't start from any time in American history. It got to be at a certain time. So you got to start at the time where it deals with all this. You got to start at the time where the trumpet is going to come forth. Trump didn't come in the year 2000. He came to you in other years, but he came to you at a Jubilee time, right here, at 2017. But you got to know, because it ain't just about Donald Trump. No. This is about American history and about the magic, the lesser magic, I would say. The lesser magic that been used on you to manipulate you and to get you to think a certain way. Even people that's been called white people, you got to understand where the terminology came from. You didn't even, during the early part of 1600s, around 1618, did you even hear them talk about or classify people as white people? And they did it for a certain reason, for manipulation, because they didn't want those peoples, the indentured servants that was European and the indentured servants of black that lived together, and they was trying to bring their resources together and make things happen. And this during the time of the Bacon Rebellion. Okay, you need to know about that stuff. It's a lot of stuff you need to know about, but you ain't learning in the churches. And don't get me wrong, I'm not hard on these preachers because they just didn't know. You ain't have no internet all that long time ago. You ain't have all this advanced knowledge bombarding you long years ago, so they did not know it. Okay? And certain people wasn't to come into certain times of human history. So those individuals who are to open you up to this knowledge are here on this planet now. They are here trying to open your mind to what's really going on, the real truth. And you need to see this. Now, in this, you're going to see this chart. And this chart is going to show 21 years. You're going to see it talk about 7 years of good, 7 years of bad. Okay? If you just read it, that's all you're going to see in this. But if you initiate and you use your head, you're going to see 7 years of good, 7 years of bad, 7 years of grievously bad. Why do I say that? Because you're going to see a good coin, you're going to see a bad coin, and you're going to see a grievously bad, where the bad at the good, which is grievously bad. You're also going to see a good cow, you're going to see a bad cow, and you're going to see a grievously bad one where the bad cow at the good. Okay? So, and then they're going to tell you this is one. So you're going to see 2777, that's 21 years, okay, of events that are going to happen in America. Back then, in the writing, they say it happened in Egypt. No, that's the modern Egypt, the United States of America. If I say this, now notice this, if I say that this event is from 2000 to the end of 2020, I must prove it. And history must bear it out. See, I can't just come to you and just say something if it ain't real. I won't waste my time, neither will I waste your time. Because I come to teach you the truthism. So you can know what God say, because I'm in the writing. But I don't want to talk about me now, because people, I think they heard enough of that, so I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about what you need to see, because in reality, you in the writing. Why I say you in the writing? Because you living right now in the United States of America. You part of the prophecy. And that's why I have to say it like that. You are part of prophecy. You are the ones that have been chosen to come out of this condition. You are the ones that the God Almighty want to deliver from this condition. You're the one that he want to stop this manipulation from happening to you any longer. So you need to see this. Let's deal with it. In 2000, now the cow deal with economics, war, terrorists, and the coin deal with natural disasters. Now let's see how this have been wheeled from 2000 to 2020. Now, in the beginning, in the economics, Clinton was in power. The economics was good. We had what you call a surplus. When Clinton was in office, we had a surplus. The next year, 2001, Bush was in power. It was a bad year. We had 9/11. Now, I want you to see about 9/11 now. So you can say, well, that was a terrorist attack. They came and terrorized. You hear the politicians, they still saying that. That was a terrorist attack. Come on. Let's deal with the scholars, the engineers, the people that know what's going on. They seen the building. They seen the explosion coming out the side wall. They seen it. They know that they construct that building. They know our plane can hit it and destroy it. So we know that we've been lied to. Okay? We've been lied to. They're still lying to you. And you'll go vote for one of them, and they'll still say it. I heard several ones. I don't want to call it because it's your favorite little persons, especially you black folks. You got to have a black president so he could come and lie to you and you accept it. You know, like it's nothing. Well, that's Barack Obama. You got us a black president and all this other stuff. People, let me tell you something. You're being manipulated. Your only friend is Jesus. And that Jesus is the one eternal. And the other of your friends are the ones who he done sent through the Father to come and give you information. Other than that, them people ain't your friend. You got to get out of this and grab hold of somebody because of the color of their skin and all this other nonsense. That ain't no good now. That's no good now. You may not like me for saying this, but just listen to what the gift brings forth to you. I ain't come to this planet for people that like me. I came to this planet to do God's will, to open the people's eyes so they can see the truthism of God. That's what this is all about. And then you'll like me. Okay? I don't care until you like me until on the other side. As long as you realize that I'm giving you God's truth. And that's what's important. Let's deal with it. After the terrorist attack, after 9/11, we had the war in Iraq. Oh, I got to straighten that out. Right, war in Iraq. Okay? We had the war in Iraq. After we had the war in Iraq, which was a grievously bad year, then the next 3 come with the coin. Okay? The next 3 years come with the coin. And we got to see that. Okay? And as we see that, we're going to understand. You probably can't see that as good, but the war in Iraq. Okay? See the war in Iraq. Now, the next year, next 3 come with the coin. Because they're going to flip. Now, what happened? So the coin deal with natural disaster. 2003, what we had? No problem. It was a good year. 2004, what do we have? It was a bad year. We had these storms come down Florida. And you had them coming down the coast of Florida. And you had all kinds of storms in 2004 coming down the coast of Florida. You had Francis, you had Ivan, you had Gene, you had Kurt. All these storms were coming down the coast of Florida. And then the next year you had a grievously bad year. What was that? You had Katrina, Irma, Wilma, all the other ones there at that time. And everybody remember Katrina, especially black folks, because it happened in New Orleans. Okay, now what happened in New Orleans that caused that? When the storm came across, you didn't have nothing real bad happen until that next day when that levee broke. And when that levee broke, who broke the levee? Okay, did the storm do that? Or they did it to keep the water from coming into a certain area, but they deterred the water, changed it so it could go some other way. You got to understand this stuff now. I'm not even saying that they actually did it, but that stuff you got to try to understand right here. Okay? Because remember, although this is in the Bible, they can manipulate time. They can manipulate events. And you need to see this. Now, what happened next? We had the economic part. Cal always deal with economics. Terrorist, war, economics. 2006 was what? No major economic problems. Now, the economy constantly was going lower, but no major economic problems. Okay? Now, in 2007, you had what? You had the failure of key businesses. We had to bail businesses out. We had to bail the car industry out, automobile industry out. We had to bail some of the mortgage companies out. They had a big bailout. What happened in 2008? The grievously bad year. The Great Recession. The stock market crash. See, people, when God wants you to know something, He's going to put it there. But you got to understand. Always remind yourself. When Moses stole the rod out there and it became a serpent, Pharaoh threw rods out there too. So don't think that they can't manipulate the scripture so you can see what they want you to see. Now, I know this is difficult to understand. And really, when I'm telling you about my book and getting you to want to buy a book and stuff, I got to really, say to myself, God, what I want to do the most. I want to sell this book. I want to sell the truth. I want to give them the truth because the truthism is what you need. And this book helps you see the truthism along with this lecture. So you need a book and the lecture. That way you can see for yourself in the quiet of your home. Now, the next year deal with natural disasters again. The next 3 deal with natural disasters. What was it? 2009. 2009, Obama was in power. That was a good year. No major storms. No major storm. Then what happened after then? In 2010, bad. You had earthquake in Haiti. Okay? Many people, many scientists, and many individuals have already said, you probably have heard it if you've been listening properly. They say that we believe that earthquake was manipulated, that earthquake was brought through the HART program. Many say that. A lot of people died. Now, we have to ask the question, could man cause earthquakes at this time with this technology? Now, we already know, Tesla already knew how to do certain things, and the United States sees that knowledge of Tesla, etc. So could man make earthquake happen now? And make this be fulfilled through his ability, his craft, his knowledge, or was it God? Okay? Was it God? You got to see this, people. You got to see this. Because this book, I'm going to say it and I'm going to say it over. This book could be used two ways. It could enslave you or it could free you. Do not hesitate and think that this book, not understood properly, will not slave you behind. Okay? It will do that. With the elite at the very top, I'm not talking about no little millionaires like Oprah. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about some real people who rule the world. I ain't talking about just the Pope. I'm talking about people over that. There's some people here, and they're very powerful in their knowledge and understanding. The Bible talk about them, and you need to understand this stuff. You ever want to be free, you need to understand it. Now, let's deal with it. You had earthquake in Haiti. That was bad. And then what you had? Then next you had some storms in Missouri, tornadoes, etc. All these tornadoes in the Missouri area, Midwest. You had all these tornadoes start happening in 2011. Now, what did we have in 2012, 13, and 14? 2012 was a good year, decent year. Now, always remember, in each one of these years, the deficit, the economy, American debt get a little worse. It don't go back and forth. It gets a little worse. Now, down here in 2012, they really manipulate you in what they were saying. So they put on media, oh, the economy getting better. No major economic problem, but what you had wage problems in 2013. Okay? Now, they done lift the debt ceiling several times. And Obama was lifting the debt ceiling at this time. So you had wage problem. Why? Because some people hadn't getting no raises, and then other people just forget they didn't want to go to, they quit looking for jobs. But after they quit looking for jobs, they took them off the list and made you think that, oh, the economy getting better. You see, and the job problem ain't as bad, and da-da-da. They had none of these people in the equation who just gave up, what they call give-up-itis type thing. They just say, man, I'm just tired. They went to live with mama, live with daddy, live with uncle, live with so-and-so, and be able to do whatever little hustling they do. And that's why at our time you see a lot of people riding around, picking up metal and all this other stuff, and going through your garbage trying to make some little ends meet to pay their rent, etc., because the job situation that bad. When the economy is booming like that, you don't see them doing that. But you see people all over, people doing landscaping, etc., doing all season. They have so much things to do, and they was doing it too. So you got all this stuff disturbing happening because of raises. People ain't being able to, you have the inflation, but the people ain't able to have the money from the jobs in order to meet the inflation. And a lot of jobs laid off and hired. They laid off the ones that was making a decent money, $20-something an hour, $18-something an hour, and all that. Because I talked to one young lady, and I asked her, I said, how you doing? And she told me, I ain't doing so fine. I said, why? She said, I'm working security now because I need to work 2 jobs because I've been laid off of my $20-something an hour job. Now I'm making $10 an hour, and then I got another job that I got to go to where I ain't making but $8 an hour, and then I got another part-time job I said, how you have time for your children? She said, I got to do what I got to do. Come on, people. See, they ain't telling you the truth of what's really going on. And what I'm saying, a lot of you out here know this. Some of you, it's happening to you, or it's happening to your friends or your family member. You know this stuff was happening, and they lying to you, telling you everything getting better. Barack Obama and them, it's getting better and all this. You was getting worse. If you ain't making the money you making, how in the heck you gonna get better? And you spending more time on a job, on this job and that job, part-time and all that, and you got Kmart and all the other places, they don't want to give you no full-time, they're giving you part-time. Come on, and I'm not just on Walmart, but all these companies out there, they part-timing you. They part-timing you. And not letting you live and be able to take care of your family and have any part of what they call the American dream. You having the American nightmare, and God don't want it no more. You need to see this, people. I don't mean to holler, but I need to get this across to you, to show you what's been shown in the scripture that you have not been learning. See, you got to be able to work the arts to know what's going on. You know, I had a minister ask me, he wanted to know how to learn this stuff and how to know what he needed to do and all that. And I applauded him because he was willing enough to open his head and say, well, I've been learning wrong. In so many words, I ain't been learning like I'm supposed to learn it. And I know what you're teaching is the truth because I know how to study the Bible and I know when a man opened truth up to me. Come on, my people. Quit running from the truth and running to the truth. And we need to see this. Let's deal with it now. Let's deal with it. The wage problem in 2013 and what was in 2014, the national debt had reached. Now notice what they tell you. Now, don't get me wrong. It telling you something was wrong, but it's bigger than this. They say the national debt rose to $21.97 trillion. Now let's listen to some of the other scholars. Not the ones that trying to manipulate this and show you what they want you to see, but some of them say, man, this thing over $79 trillion in debt and still rising. So we got to see this. Now let's go over here. Let's deal with it, but we still got some more years. See, we're at 2019 now, and we got to see these events that are happening because these are historical events. You got to know what's going on. You got to know what God wants you to understand. In 2015, you deal with natural disasters again. Obama was in power. 2015 was a good year. No major storms. No major storms. Okay? 2016, a bad year. You had the blizzards, the tornadoes, and the wildfire. All right? Just like he said, it's going to go good, bad, and grievously bad. It's going to go economics. It's going to go natural disasters. Economic, natural disasters is exactly what's been happening. This chart is 100% accurate today. And you need to see this. Now, what happened in 2016? The blizzard, the tornado, and the wildfires. Okay, what happened in 2017? Grievously bad. Harvey, hurricane. $180 billion, over $180 billion in damage. And that's the only part that's been recorded. How about the part where the people just ain't have no insurance and they had to go in their own pocket and fix their own thing? Or they just let it stay like that and still need to be fixed even today. See, they ain't telling you about that. That's a lot. Harvey, they say Harvey, the repair for Harvey, the money that put out for Harvey was more than Katrina. Study it. Most people think Katrina was worse. But no, these storms get worse and worse and worse. And Harvey was worse than Katrina. Look at it. Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, the northwest part of Florida. See, Harvey wasn't playing. Harvey was kicking up something. And what? It was shown in the scripture before time. Okay? Now, let's look at 2018. 2018 deals with the cow. Look at the numbers again. No major thing in 2018. What it was. Donald Trump trying to get credit, saying, well, oh, it's the best economy we ever had since da-da-da-da. We got a deficit that ain't resolving. We got people that still ain't working. We got a situation, but they claim it's the best. It's getting better and all this other stuff. No major economy, no major thing. Now, we got 2019 and 2020. Now, what is about to happen in 2019 and 2020? Now, we got to see this. We got to see this. We started out with a surplus and the debt and everything started getting bad. We got this 2000 to 2002. We got this 2006 to 2008. We got this 2012 to 2014. Now we got this. Now I skipped over the natural disasters and I only deal with the economy ones right now. Now what do you think? If this stuff was getting badder and badder and meaning worse and worse and worse and worse, what do you think finna happen in 2019 and 2020? When you're ending it. What do you think is gonna happen? You think we're gonna have a good year in 2019? Do you think we're gonna have a good year in 2020? People, some things that's gonna happen dealing with your economics, dealing with your money. You got to understand these prophecies and scriptures. You got to understand Jonah. You got to understand what's going to go on because Trump is, in his way, call himself cleaning house. And he's going to come against a lot of people, okay? He's going to come against Hillary Clinton and her gang, the Clintons. He's going to come against them. And other politicians and peoples and investors and all people that's based around that CNN environment. He's going to come against this. Okay? He's going to declare martial law because you're dealing with the economy. And he's trying to be a patriot in America. So he's going to come against this stuff. And you need to understand that things is going to get worse, but God is going to take care of his people. See, I'm telling you, it's time for the great exodus. And you need to listen to what's going on. Because they already showed you to Hollywood that Donald Trump is going to be the last one of the ones that we have just like the regular presidents. Look at the scripture. You need to know the scripture. This same thing, this person is played out. Donald Trump and Barack Obama is played out in the story of Saul and Saul's son, because after Saul did what he did for getting the money back to the treasurers and getting the money back to the kings and etc., and Obama getting the money back to Wall Street, bankers, then Trump came in. People, when you read these stories, don't try to read them word for word and all this, because you never will see it. You will never see it like that. You got to have an initiate to break these things down so they can tell you what it's really all about. Because Obama played the part of Saul. Trump played the part of Saul's son. Who came after Trump, after Saul's son? David. That means that for David to come on the scene, then the United States have to be converted differently. He got to be, something got to happen. Because David cannot come to a nation like the United States unless you convert it. Because David was a king. And he wasn't a regular king like Saul and Saul's son, like Obama and Trump. That's why I keep telling you about the great exodus. America is going to be broken up, my people. America is about to be broken up. And you might well get ready for it. That's why I tell you about this exodus, great exodus, about black folks going down to the Carolinas, the Georgia, and Florida area. That land of promise. That land of area of Goshen that area of Jacksonville area, in that area of Goshen, because Joseph went down and was given that spot, that land, through the Pharaoh, and he went to Goshen. Okay? And that's what you need to start seeing. I'm trying to tell you, people, that this thing, what I'm showing you, is real. It's real. I can't take you but so far in it each time. I can't feed you too much because it's too much for your mind. People, let me tell you something. You think I don't be wrestling with some of this stuff sometimes? Whoa. Some of this stuff be like, God, is there any hope? What's going on, my Lord? Help me to understand this. How I'm going to teach this stuff if I can't grasp it the way I want without my head about the hurt because of the deep depths of the knowledge. And God have to soothe my mind and let me know, son, everything's going to be all right. The chosen peoples are going to be all right. God is going to provide an avenue for them to escape into an area that's known as a promised land. But they're going to be all right. It's just going to be a lot of other people's going to be catching hell. But those people's going to be all right. And we got to see this, people. We got to know what God is doing right now. We got to understand this book the right way. Let's deal with this. We're going to deal with this part right here. Predictive programming. What you got to remember, and they're doing it a lot on television, etc. That's why when you see the symptoms or you see certain things, that's not only here, that's in the Bible too. They've been doing this for many years. The elite use this to control the masses. It's a select group that is superior in terms of ability. Okay? And they really are. They know alchemy, they know the arts, they know all these things. So they know how to manipulate things, and you think it's God, or you think it's just happening, and they manipulate these things. Okay? By using the arts. They are the dark arts. The dark arts. Okay? And this group that is superior in terms of ability or quality to the rest of the group or society. That means they see themselves as greater than you. Okay? In reality, are they? No, they're not. In the eyes of God, no, they're not. But the way that they manipulate this world and do what they do, they appear to be what they call the Illuminatis at the extreme high level. We're not talking about the little ones that just joined this. No. We're talking about the masters. The masters. The ones that have sunk this ancient knowledge back and sunk it here. And why do I say that? Because you need to know this. In the manifest destiny that I have talked about before, in the manifest destiny, and you're looking Daniel 8, 12 through 14, you have 2,300 years they've been working these arts. Where did they learn these arts from? They learned them from ancient Egypt. But what did they do? They took the truth-isms of it and they threw it to the ground. And they took the part that they wanted to use to manipulate you, to control you, and to be masters over you, to be what they call the illuminated ones over you. They took that knowledge and they brought it to themselves. And only a very small elite have that knowledge. Just because you may be Oprah and you got $1 billion, and you may be Michael Jordan and you got $1 billion, or you could be some of the others and you got $1 billion. It don't qualify you for that. That's paper money. These people's got a bloodline, and that bloodline been running this world. That bloodline been there for nearly 2,300 years, all the way back to Serapis and Ptolemy I, Alexander the Great time. And you got to understand that. They ain't just came here. It ain't about money, it's about power. It's about influence. It's about strength. It's about control. And they make other people, and you think them, and you chase after them other peoples and think they the bad guy. Because set it up that way. And you don't even know what's going on. We got to start opening our minds so we can see God. We got to use thought in our life so we can see what's really going on. Now, let's deal with this. Okay. In this manifest destiny, Daniel said, but I will show thee that thought. That means thought, which is noted in the scripture of truth. What is the scripture of truth? I said this book could free you, or it could enslave you. Okay? This is the scripture of truth right here. Okay? Is there other books go with it? Yes, there are other books was with it when this book was first sent to America. You had a lot of other books, of other epistles and stuff was in this book. Okay? Now, which is noted in the scripture of truth. And there is none that holdeth with me in these things, but Michael, your prince. Did it say our prince? No, it never said our prince. Why? Because Michael is not their prince, because they are the gods. They are the gods here. They are the rulers. They are seeing themselves as the gods, ruling over you. So the prince is someone that's going to learn this knowledge in which they have utilized to manipulate you and open your eyes to it. And they're telling you, he's coming. He's going to know what we know. He's coming. And he's going to inform you of what you're supposed to know. But they is so manipulative that they're going to do the best they can to get you to believe the lie that they done form and rearrange instead of the truth. So what that make? That make my job hard as hell. Excuse my French. It make my job hard. It make my job hard. It make my job hard. Why? Because they cannot do it without the power of the devil. Now I got to try to undo what they done did by using the power of Satan. And it's very hard. All this been shown to me before time, and I know what I'm talking about. See, people, you need to understand this book. Quit running from the truth. Quit trying to take an easy road out, because there is no easy road out of this mess. You got to know these truthisms. And as you begin to know these truthisms, you'll begin to get where you need to get to. Because I'm going to tell you now, don't worry. God got this thing under control. See, the ultimate dimension. See, you got to understand what's going on. See, they have the ability through knowledge from the ancient Egyptian to switch over into dimensions of time. And they could go in the future and they could see something, they could see events, and then they come back and write about them and manipulate it so it could work for their advantage. And you don't know that's happening. You don't know that knowledge even exists. And you need to wake up, my people. You need to wake up, because he tell you here, where is it? Where is it at? Right here in there. Read this. The 8th chapter, 12 through 14. Read the whole chapter, but read this area. It will tell you that it was given a host. They was given a host. They was given Serapis. They was given a host. And they took the truth and they throwed it to the ground. They worked the craft. It's all in the Bible. I'm not telling you something that's not there. But it's for only the elite in God. Only the wise in God is going to pick up what I'm saying right now. People, you need, like he said, run to the mountains. You need to, as soon as you can, start looking at the great Exodus and my videos on where I tell you about the great exodus and where that territory is and what you need to do. Because Donald Trump is going to cause some real problems in America. Okay? He's going to cause some real problems in America. But God wants you to be in safety. God wants you to be secured. Because God got a great substance he want to give you. And he's not going to let no devil in hell keep you from being able to grow and attain the things that you're supposed to attain. So he wants you to survive the time. These 2 years plus build yourself in that next 30 years to be the kingdom of God on earth. And that's what God has for you. But you won't know it unless a man of God come to you that is chosen to come to you to teach you these things. And it's very important. So I say to you, that's the end of this lecture. We need you. Oh, and Antonio Jenkins. Oh, I told you I was going to put from Mid or West City, Ohio, individual who have given me some hope on how this organization is going to be able to go forward. Jose Diaz, I ain't forgot about you. You want to be a warrior for this organization, and I ain't forgot about you. I told you every time I do a lecture, I'm going to bring individuals' names up. Because you need to know that God sees you, and God is thankful for you. You know, it takes soldiers to build God's army. And we need to see this and understand this. And we need you to go on your mobile app, on your thing, and go and look under this. Give LaFi. And it's going to be under charitable. And you're going to see Cross Rock Incorporated, this organization, Cross Rock Incorporated. That way you can make these donations, because we definitely need your donations right now. We need you to help. We need you to back this organization so this truth could go upon all the parts of America. We got to do something here, people. We need you to step up to the plate and help this organization do what it's supposed to do so the word could get out and we could do the right thing for God's people. We need saviors now. You are the saviors. You are the saviors. You do what you can to help this organization come, and we as a body in Christ, we make these things happen. The Christ conscious spirit that God has put into us so we could resurrect the dead at this particular time of human history. And we need to see this. You have a part in this. It's just not just my work. Oh no, I would never try it. The Lord that I see that's coming in the future, those people that's coming running in the future, I need your help, people. I need your help. I need your help to get to that point where we could go into this thing knowing that they're coming. Where we could go in this thing knowing the will of God. And that's what's important. Also, individuals who have sent me letters, I have went on, for some of them, I have went already on a 3-day prayer for them. And they should see things happen even as we speak and ongoing. Things happen so their family life could be better. Medical problems could be better, and all the other things, financial problems could be better. And there's many more that write me that prayers will be going out. You know, people's writing. Don't think I don't read the letters. I'm reading the letters. I'm reading the letters. I'm responding to it. And I'm letting you know your letter here, I'm reading your letters. And I need many more. We need to fix this world. We need to fix this environment. And we can only do it by you crying out to God and the man of God. So God could listen. See, I take these prayers to the altar. I take it to the throne because I've been taught how to take it to the throne. See, I look to connect with what they call, you hear some of them use the term, especially in the Masonic orders and stuff like that. They talk about the lion part. That's not just for them, that's for you to know what it really all about. That means understanding the nectus, Understanding the power of God, how he has brought this power through nature to come to us. See, you got to remember, God created this world, then he created this man to till the earth and to make things happen, and we got to understand that. But God was not alone when he did this. He said, let us create man in our image and our likeness, and we got to understand that. So we got to understand there's a connection with God and man, and there's a connection with God and nature and man. And God has put all the elements here, all the power here. We need to grab hold to, but we got to know it's there. We got to understand the power of the nectars and understand that that power will come from the source and how to use it and wield it, that we could be able to get where we need to get in the Lord. And I thank you. So I tell you, you can write us 7536 Jana Lane North, Jacksonville, Florida, 32210. That's 7536 Jana, Jana Lane North, Jacksonville, Florida, 32210. Cross Rock Incorporated. And we wish you have a beautiful day. Thank you.